Hi, my name is Melissa Grace. I'm a consultant from Countries R Us Consulting Agency, and I've been appointed to be your own personal consultant. First off, I want to say congratulations again on Shark Tank. That is very impressive since the sharks don't take deals lightly, are not easily impressed by people's products. It says here the deal with the sharks to do business in the country of Sweden. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct, Melissa. Sonia and I were actually on the NBA edition of Shark Tank, and we received a deal with one of the sharks. We've invented a new technology product, and Sweden is one of the countries where we'd like to pursue doing business. We've heard there's so much potential there, and we're very excited to learn about doing business in this wonderful country.
That is great to hear. Countries R Us has helped many people establish businesses in many countries. Sweden is one of my specialties, so I'll be able to give you great information on doing business in Sweden. Here are your own copies on how to do business in Sweden, if you ever need to look back at them. Let me give you a little background on Sweden and its environment before we get into the real business talk. Sweden is a Scandinavian country in northern Europe. It borders Norway and Finland and is connected to Denmark by a bridge tunnel. Its capital is Stockholm, and Sweden is the third largest country in the European Union by area. It has a total population of over 9.7 million people. Now taking a look at Sweden economically, Sweden is the 7th richest country in the world in terms of GDP per capita and has a high standard of living. Sweden maintains its own currency, which is called the Swedish krona. Swedish is also the official language of Sweden. However, most Swedes are very fluent in English as well. Sweden is an export-oriented mixed economy and has a heavy emphasis on foreign trade. In terms of structure, the Swedish economy is characterized by a large, knowledge-intensive, and export-oriented manufacturing sector. Large organizations, both in manufacturing and services, dominate the Swedish economy. High and medium-high technology manufacturing accounts for 9.9% of GDP, and its economy thrives on new technologies. They love to use the latest and greatest technology products, and Sweden is the 4th most competitive economy in the world. So I know you'll have some specific questions for me, so let's go ahead with those.
Well, let's start with something positive. What are the advantages of doing business in Sweden?
That's a great question to start with, Sonia. Sweden is currently ranked as the 11th best country in the world for doing business. Sweden has a low-qualified labor force, and its employment rate is low. They have a 99% literacy rate as well as a 97% computer literacy rate. This following advantage I'm about to describe to you pertain to you if you wanted to establish a new company with your new product in Sweden. Businesses that have less than 50 employees can be eligible for grants that cover 35% of machinery costs, 25% of your office rent, and 50% of the consulting or installation cost. Sweden is ranked the 4th least corrupt country in the world, and there are sanctions placed against any person receiving or giving a bribe. Sweden is also an excellent European distribution base because of its central location. The United States is one of Sweden's most top suppliers, currently ranked as 4th, and the United States is also Sweden's 2nd most popular export destination. Sweden's location also offers easy access to wealthy Scandinavian markets and other parts of Western Europe, as it reduces transportation costs. And foreign policy has ranked Sweden in the top 3 of most globalized countries and loves to explore new technology. Sweden loves to invest in research and development in relation to the new technology.
So wow, those are a lot of advantages. Our new product could be marketed to a lot of people. I didn't know there were that many advantages of doing business in Sweden. Seems like it's going to be pretty easy.
Well, hold on, Morgan. We haven't heard the disadvantages of doing business in Sweden yet. Melissa, can you please tell us those?
Sure, Sonia. Like all other countries, Sweden has disadvantages as well when it comes to doing business in the country. Operating a company in Sweden can be very expensive for foreign entrepreneurs because of the tax rate. The corporate tax rate is 22%, while the personal income tax rate can be as high as 56%. If entrepreneurs decide to move to Sweden and start a new company, they'll face financial issues early on because taxes will eat into their profits. Sweden also has the 2nd highest VAT tax rate, which is at 25%. The hourly labor rates are high, and Sweden has a high cost of living. Sweden also has logistics challenges because it's expensive to ship overseas because of the geography that makes it difficult.
Well, these seem to be major disadvantages. How could any company survive doing business with those types of rules? Do you have examples of Swedish companies?
I do, Sonia. I'm glad you asked about the Swedish companies. There are many companies that took the chance to do business in Sweden, and they have succeeded. Swedish companies include those such as Electrolux, Ericsson, IKEA, and Skype.
Those are all great and successful companies. It sure does make me feel a lot better to know that businesses have been successful over there in Sweden. It's also great news that Sweden and the U.S. have a great relationship doing business with each other. That will greatly benefit us when we launch a new product.
I'm glad y'all are both optimistic. As your consultant, I also need to tell you about Sweden's business etiquette, so you'll be prepared for meeting with Swedish business consultants.
Please do, because we are not experienced in this area, so give us as much information as you can.
In Sweden, business meetings always start on time. Punctuality is very important to the Swedish culture. Making planned schedules are very important when doing business in Sweden, and always keep to your agenda during the meeting. Also, you need to give at least a 2 weeks notice to plan your meeting. Always try to avoid planning meetings for June, July, and August, since those are when the Swedes go on holiday. One of the most important social values in Sweden is that people are considered as equals when doing business in Sweden.
Wow, that's great advice. We will definitely adhere to all of those cultural norms when we're doing business in Sweden.
Well, I think that about wraps up our session. Do you have any more questions?
No, I don't think we do. Thank you so much for your time.
It was my pleasure. Please feel free to contact me if you have any more questions later on, or if you need some advice while you're in Sweden conducting your business. Thanks so much for choosing Countries R Us Consulting Agency for your consulting needs. Sweden is one of our favorite countries, and I know you will like doing business with them.